Have you ever met someone whose English was perfect, but somehow it didn't sound natural? Maybe you've even felt that way about your own English. You know the grammar, you know thousands of words, you understand movies, you can read books, you can even explain complicated ideas, but when you finally start speaking, something feels off. You can't always explain it. Your English isn't wrong. It just doesn't sound like the English you hear from native speakers. Why? Most people will tell you it's because you need more vocabulary or more pronunciation practice or more confidence. Those things certainly help, but I don't think they're the real reason. In fact, I think most English learners have been solving the wrong problem. Today, I want to show you something that completely changed the way I think about language. And once you see it, you'll probably never study English the same way again. There isn't just one English. The first thing you need to realize is that there isn't just one English. There are actually different versions of English. The first one is textbook English. This is the English we all start with. Its job is simple. Teach grammar, teach sentence structure, teach vocabulary. It's clean, organized, logical, and that's exactly why it's so useful. But here's the problem. Real conversations don't happen inside textbooks. Then there's written English. The English you see in books, articles, essays, business emails, reports. This English is designed to be clear, detailed, and carefully organized. Again, very useful, but still not the English people speak every day. Then we arrive at spoken English, and this is where everything changes. Spoken English follows a completely different philosophy. Its goal isn't perfection, its goal is efficiency. People aren't trying to create beautiful sentences. They're trying to communicate as quickly and as naturally as possible. That's why a native speaker says, "I'll take this," instead of, "I would like to purchase this item." Both are correct, but only one belongs in everyday conversation.
I'll take this. I'll take this one.
Here, I'll take this.
Here's the mistake almost every learner makes. Most learners believe they're translating words. They're not. They're translating grammar. Think about what happens in your head. You have an idea, your brain searches for grammar, then vocabulary, then sentence order, then pronunciation, and only after all that do you finally speak. It's like building a house. Every single time someone asks you a question. Native speakers don't do that. Their brains work completely differently, which brings us to the biggest misunderstanding about fluency. Native speakers don't build sentences. They recognize situations. Imagine someone walks into a coffee shop. The barista smiles and says, "What can I get you?"
Hey, what can I get you?
What can I get you to drink?
Of course, what can I get you?
What can I get you?
The customer doesn't stop and think. Let's see. I need the modal verb can, then the subject, then the object. No. The entire situation is already familiar. It's one pattern, one mental package. The same thing happens when someone says, "How was your weekend?"
So how was your weekend?
How was your weekend?
Baby, how was your weekend?
Or, "Long time no see."
Oh, long time no see.
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Or, "What have you been up to?"
What have you been up to all night, Bo?
What have you been up to the past 20 years?
What have you been up to?
Skate.
These aren't grammar exercises. They're conversation patterns. Native speakers have experienced these situations thousands of times. They're not inventing languages. They're recognizing it. That's why they answer so quickly. Not because they think faster, because they recognize the conversation before it even finishes. English is surprisingly predictable. Here's something fascinating. Human conversations are incredibly predictable. Imagine I start a sentence. Guess what?
Guess what?
Guess what?
Guess what?
Your brain is already preparing for news. If I say, "I have some bad news,"
I have some bad news.
I have some bad news and some worse news.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
your brain immediately changes its expectations. If I ask, Can I ask you a favor?
Okay, just can I ask you a favor?
Can I ask you a favor?
Hey, you're already thinking about helping or maybe politely refusing. Conversation isn't random, it's full of patterns. Native speakers become fluent because they've heard those patterns again and again and again. Many learners focus on memorizing words. Native speakers memorize situations. That's a huge difference. You're learning vocabulary, but native speakers are learning identity. Let's look at 4 different people. One says, I'm tired.
The sun is low in the sky. I'm tired. And I am sick of walking up and down this fucking road that leads to nowhere.
I'm tired of you always snooping on me.
Well, it's Mom. I'm tired of you always running my life and criticizing me.
Another person might say, I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
Someone else again might say, I'm wiped. And another person says, I'm running on fumes.
I'm running on fumes.
I'm running on fumes.
I'm running on fumes right now.
Do these all mean roughly the same thing? Yes, but they don't sound like the same person. Vocabulary doesn't only communicate meaning, it communicates personality, age, emotion, sometimes even profession. Textbooks often teach words as if they're mathematical equivalents. Real conversations don't work like that. Every expression carries a feeling. That's why sounding natural isn't just about choosing the correct word. It's about choosing the word that fits that moment. The secret most textbooks never teach. Here's an experiment. Imagine someone asks, how's work?
How's work for you?
How's work, at least?
How's work?
A learner often starts building an answer. Well, my work is going well because... A native speaker might simply say busy, crazy, can't complain, same as always. Notice something? Those aren't complete textbook sentences. They're enough. Real conversations don't reward long answers. They reward easy communication. Native speakers constantly remove words that aren't necessary. Not because their English is worse, because their communication is better. Fluency is compression. Think about how children speak. They start with long sentences? No. As they become more experienced, those sentences become shorter. Adults do exactly the same thing. Instead of saying, I'm going to go to the supermarket because I need to buy some food for tonight, many people simply say, I've got to grab some groceries.
Feel free to grab some groceries if you get a second,
I'm gonna grab some groceries in the morning.
The idea hasn't changed. The information has simply been compressed. Fluent speakers are constantly compressing language. Not because they're lazy, because human brains naturally become more efficient over time. Language evolves toward efficiency. So how do you actually become more natural? The answer isn't to memorize more vocabulary lists. Instead, start paying attention to conversations, not individual words, conversations. Every time you watch a movie, a TV show, or an interview, ask yourself questions like, how did they start the conversation? How did they change the topic? How did they react when they were surprised? How did they politely disagree? How did they end the conversation? Those are the building blocks of real communication. That's the English native speakers actually use every day. And that's the English most learners spend for too little time studying. If there's one idea I hope you remember from today's video, it's this. Stop asking, what does this word mean? Start asking, when would a native speaker actually say this? That one question changes everything. Because speaking naturally isn't about collecting bigger words, it isn't about using more grammar, and it certainly isn't about sounding intelligent. It's about recognizing situations, understanding people, and communicating in a way that feels effortless. Your English doesn't have to be perfect, it has to feel alive. And once you start learning English, Through conversations instead of isolated sentences, you'll stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a real speaker. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Amin, and I'll see you in the next video.